All right, before I introduce my guy Tony, I got breaking news. I'm going to be on the Shy on the early. I'm going to be on two of the four episodes. The first four episodes. So this they final season. So make sure you watch Paramount Plus, and I'll be on episode two and episode number four. So if you got Paramount Plus in the United States, make sure you check me out. I'm gonna be on the episodes. So watch your boy, and stay tuned, for those episodes.
Nice.
But
Let's
also
go, man.
watch that. It's a very good. It's a very good show, and they're gonna be very missed, and I think they'll give me opportunity for having me get my acting debut.
Let's go,
So
man.
what do
Congrats on
you?
that. I can't wait for that.
Well, you gotta tune in, My
Yes,
family's
sir.
right out there, But let's get to the interview. My guest today, he is a co-founder with his father, Tony's of Adams Athletics. Welcome to my guest today, Tony Adams. How's the morale, man, on this Sunday on his Mother's Day?
Raul's great, man. God is amazing. We got a lot of really special things going on for us in the business. We just had one of the biggest fighters in the world, the most famous fighter in the world, post him training on our equipment. And not only that, it has one of the out of his last 20 videos, it's the second most viewed video that he has on his page. So we're ecstatic as a company. We're super excited. And we're just moving along. The UFC's getting bigger, wrestling's getting bigger. And so, we're in those markets. We're trying to take over those markets as the number one combat equipment for those combat athletes. So, we're doing some big things, and then obviously we're just giving thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and we're thanking God in this process. But everything's doing good. Everything's great, man. Can't complain at all.
Well, WWE getting really big because they on the ESPN now.
Yeah.
You are you a Roman Reigns fan or you like John Cena?
I'm a classic guy, man. I like
Oh,
Roman Reigns. I can't lie, but
hey, we gotta acknowledge the tribal. We gotta acknowledge the tribal chief.
yeah, exactly. He kind of, but ain't The Rock, ain't no one doing better than The Rock, man. The Rock was just, or
Well,
or Triple H, or or
well,
or
they don't, they
the
don't.
Undertaker. Those were like legends. Like if they came on the stage, man, things it was the best. They was the best presentation ever. Those boys back then.
Well, they all retire now, so we got Jacob Fatu, and we got Gunther and stuff.
Yeah, no,
So
I
they
feel that.
coming up. Gunther
Yeah, I feel that.
retired Goldberg, he retired AJ Styles, and he retired John Cena.
Yeah, but John Cena came back, right? And they got Logan Paul back in there too, don't they?
Well, Logan Paul, the YouTuber. That got crazy. He got his little crime drink. He with Paul Heyman and the Vision and Braun Breaker. With Braun Breaker now. I wonder what
Yeah,
Russell Reed been at. I haven't seen that guy. He been MIA. I guess he injured.
yeah, yeah. I don't watch WWE wrestling too much, to be honest with you.
Well, I like the women. I like Leah Morgan. I wish I get a date. I wish I get a date with her, because I love my snow bunnies.
Yeah, you do. You love them snow bunnies. Hey,
Hey,
I
I,
can't
I
lie.
want. I like to get a date with Leah Morgan.
No, I feel that. I feel that. How she? You got to. I don't know how she look. I forgot how she look. I'm gonna have to see how she look after this.
Yeah,
See what your type is, Deanna. See what type of flavors you like.
yeah, but let's get into the NFL. Have you been keeping track? On what's been going on?
Yeah, well, a little bit. We'll see about the questions that you got.
Well, we just gonna have a normal conversation like we normally do, Tony.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
don't gotta
Heck
have
yeah.
questions, man. We just gonna open it up, to, and tell us your thoughts,
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, so go ahead. Tell me about what you think about the NFL, And the referees, they just got a new contract.
What is it?
They got a 7-year deal, they had a problem like the referees, the CBA, they just got a deal done. Because they was gonna have replacement refs like in the Seahawks and the Packers game. You remember that? When the referees blew that game, they had fake referees, they weren't the real ones.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was a blown call. It was all on the ESPN. Everybody was going crazy,
Yeah,
on Monday night, Marshawn Lynch. That was the beast mode game, beast quake,
yeah, yeah. For how the NFL is doing right now, you know, my opinion is it's doing great for entertainment. The one thing that I saw a video on recently is how all the logos changed. Like the LA Rams, they changed their logo. The Tennessee Titans, they changed their logo. And I can't lie, I'm not gonna lie, like they're kind of they're trash, bro. Those logos are like super trash. Like they're not the same. It doesn't have like the what happened to the vintage feel that we had, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, to where like even when you put on the new or like the old school jumpers that they had, like the colorways and everything, it just felt so much more, you know, intentful with the design, like so much more creative with the design. That's the only thing. If I were to talk about um, that the actual football, I think the football is good. I think that I'm really excited to see Mendoza out there for the Raiders. I think he's going to be a baller. You mentioned it earlier. He reminds you of what? You told me a little bit earlier on the
Joe,
call.
he reminded me of Joe Flacco,
I like that.
'Cause
I like that
the,
comparison a
the
lot.
thing is, though, he gonna be better than J.J. McCarthy. He gonna be in the league a long time, but he may not win the Super Bowls. Joe Flacco won with the Ravens. And you're a journeyman
Yeah,
quarterback. He's still good, but if Fernando Mendoza have a career where he get one Super Bowl, it would be a success.
yeah,
Given that he came from Indiana University. I think he gonna have a better career than J.J. McCarthy. Because I think the thing is they think that the NFL game and the college game translate. Like Jamarcus Russell. He was a good quarterback, but he was a bust though. Ryan Leaf. He was a bust. That's because you good in college don't mean it's gonna translate to the NFL game. And a lot of experts, like Mel Kiper, they can analyze, but they can't measure the heart of a champion. Like Tom Brady, everybody thought he was not gonna be good.
yeah,
Coming out of Michigan, everybody like, man, this guy ain't good. Look at Brock Purdy,
yeah.
mentally relevant, and look, they outdid themselves. Tom Brady. You played with Tom Brady. How was it playing with Tom Brady in the
That's
locker
how it
room?
was. It was just the mentality. He came to every day as a competitor, but it wasn't every second of the day. It was just at practice. It was a switch that he turned on, and you couldn't turn that motherfucker off. It was so intense for him that it just carried on to everybody else on the squad. But then, the coaches carried that on too. Like they gave him the fuel to do that. They gave him the autonomy to lead the squad like he wants to. Because, Tom Brady put in the work. He knows what needs to get done. He had been there for so long. That was his last Super Bowl with the with the Patriots. It's like, what are you going to tell? What are you going to tell this guy if he tells you to just to hold you accountable? And I think that's what Mendoza is going to do well because he came from an awesome coaching staff at Indiana. Is that from what I've seen is the reason why they were so successful? They didn't have to spend so much money on NIL as these other teams is because they actually knew how to coach these boys up and to hold them accountable, whether it be in the offseason or the end season. They just played some really good football all around. So I think Mendoza is going to carry on that same type of leadership as Tom Brady. It's going to give him some time. I think that is he going to be better than Drake May? I don't know. I can't tell you that right now. I think is he going to be a better leader than Drake May? I don't know. I like Drake a lot, but a lot of shit's going on with Vrabel and them. So I don't know
Yeah,
how
well,
this is going to
yeah.
affect his career.
Let's talk about the scandal going on with Mike
Yeah,
Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
yeah,
Like I think that Ross Goodell said that he not gonna get involved. It's gonna be from the team if they get punished. And Mike Vrabel get punished. I think a lot of people do that in real life though. I believe in God, but a lot of dudes do that. People cheat on their wives a lot in real life, even in the church. And I think that if God forgiving you, we gotta forgive people. Like, I
yeah,
mean, they had a relationship, where it was consensual.
yep,
Like they was having consensual sex. Whatever happens, that's between their spouses, not between us. Like the media, we don't got no involvement with that. Like, sometimes I think the media can be out of pocket. Like whatever happened between them, they grown people. They got to deal with their husband or wife, who they married to in their family. I
yeah,
think it's a family matter more than anything. Like I think that we need to stay out of their business and everything. And I think Mike Vrabel is a good coach, but they've been having a relationship like 2001, where he was leaking information with the Tennessee Titans. And a lot of people don't know that. I
yeah,
mean, this been going on for like 5, 6 years. They relationship, and I think that we need to stay out of it. Do
yeah.
you
I
agree?
think, yeah, I agree, man. It's a lot more normal than people think. That's what and it's not good. Like if you kind of look at it, like the morality of it. If you're religious, you're not gonna like that statement, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, like Mike Vrabel has the most aura, really, of any grown man in his age. Like he's a top 1% person. So there's going to be a lot of different people that's going to be attracted to him, that's going to just want to be around him more. And then the crazy thing is for me, how much of a liking he caught on to Rossini. But she must be just a cool girl. Like she must be cool to talk to, chat with, or because they got caught red-handed. And what the most interesting thing was to me is who knew that they were doing these excursions? You know what I'm trying to say? Like I heard that Rossini's husband, and this is kind of just like side talk. Rossini's husband has got money, right? Like he got plenty of bread. His family owns a few chains of a restaurant or something of a big company. So there's been rumors that he hired an informant to check up on them and or someone hired somebody to see what was going on, whether it be Vrabel's wife or Rosina's husband. They knew that they were about to do something. Like they went up in the mountains of Arizona to go to that resort, and then they got caught. And so that is I agree with you 100%. That's a private investigation that the NFL I don't think needs to get involved with, but the internet is just like chomping at the bits of it because it's a story. It's a head coach that was about to win the Super Bowl last year, was one game away of winning the Super Bowl, and a reporter that have had ties throughout years. And there's some other stuff about to come out apparently of it. I just hope that it. I just hope that Mike Vrabel is okay. Like I hope that he's able to navigate this and still, in some way, be a good head coach for the New England Patriots, and then still, obviously, and then take care of his family. I'm just praying for their family because this it sounds like it could be a tough situation as well. But he got caught, and it's okay. Like you said, forgiveness is what we need to send to people. It is what it is. Like the only people that's really hurt here is the spouses. Then they're hurt emotionally. You know, like
Well, it's the same thing that happened with GMA. You remember Amy Roback, and they was having a relationship on their spouses. I
yeah,
think what's going to end up happening is Diane Rossini and Mike Vrabel will end up being together, and they're gonna get a divorce from their
yeah,
spouses. And I think that they should have been did that instead of sneaking around. Let's be together. I mean, they love each other. They've been messing with each other, but like
yeah,
they've been doing stuff with each other since 2020.
yeah,
They've been having a secret relationship.
yeah. But
That's
when you
why,
in a relationship, when you in a marriage with kids, like you can't just up and like you can't up and leave because you want to cheat. Like
yeah, but
that, like
I'm just saying, if you don't love somebody no more, just move on. Like in life, if things ain't working out, you move on. Like in NFL, they move on from you if they don't like you no more, you know?
yeah, that's true.
That's why they got the that's why they got the UFL now, you know. They got all these expansion leagues and stuff, you know, because they need football is king, you know. At the end of the day and stuff, you know, that's why they got it. Players still want to play football, you know.
Yeah, facts.
So, you know, like
Yeah, yeah, that's a
football is a
great point.
year-round sport, you know.
Yeah, it's just, but the NFL, you know this too, Dion. Like it's super transactional. Like, are you adding value to the team or are you not? If you're not adding value to the team, all right, we don't need you anymore. Hopefully, you can add value somewhere else. With marriages and relationships, bro, like it's not. If you keep it transactional, it's really not like a marriage. It's just like I guess like a business partnership. But since they're married, there's an emotional tie to it. You know what I mean? And the only reason I'm
Yeah,
arguing this
I'm
point is
just
that
saying,
it's so hard to keep this like this is it's like one of the hardest things to navigate from us being on the outside. That's why we shouldn't really know about it. But since we
yeah,
all know about it, it just makes it way worse, you know?
well, yeah, because the media linked it, you know.
Yeah.
The media linked it with the picture, you know, like they out there, you know, the paparazzi, they always gonna be out when you're a big time star, you know.
Yeah, facts.
This got TMZ running all over it.
Yeah, that's
You know,
that's
this
a
got
fact.
TMZ, man. TMZ making their money, man. I'm
And making
telling you
it
that, hey, that's how they stay in business, man. The paparazzi, man.
and it's
They
through
get this
sport.
info,
You
get
notice
these
that all these yeah, that's a fact. You notice through all these Hollywood celebrities and stuff like that, like they're not getting the buzz anymore. The only people that's getting the true buzz is people in sports now. It's like you look at the Shador Sanders, you look at the Deion Sanders, you look at the Antonio Browns, like you look like at the MMA fighters, the boxers. They're the one that's getting the most press. So like they're under a crazy microscope. The TMZ used to go to these Hollywood people before. They ain't rock like the news. Nobody cares about them anymore. It's all about the sport. It's all about the athletes. It's all about the competition in the sport. Because I guess they see more of a realness in who these people are. So it's easy to attack because they're super vulnerable now. It's like a crazy time to be alive if you're a professional athlete or a star athlete or even a star coach.
well, well, well said, but I'm gonna ask you two questions, then we're gonna be out of here.
Yeah, sounds
Who
good.
do you think won? Who do you think had the best off season in the NFL? Like for free agency to the draft, you know, like everybody's saying that Kansas City back because they got Kenny Walker, you know, they had a good draft. But I think that Cincinnati won though, because they traded away. It was a weak draft, and they got Dexter Lawrence and they got Hal from Texas A&M. If they become a top 20 defense, they gonna be scary, man. I'm telling you, Cincinnati is the scariest team in the NFL right now. And if they defense become the middle of the pack, man, they're gonna be better than Kansas City if they do that because they got more firepower than Kansas City. And Joe Burrow he just got to stay healthy. That's the biggest X factor. 690 Bengals. They could be like the Patriots of last year.
You
I
know,
got faith in them if
yeah.
that defense get it going.
You know, I agree with you. I agree. The only thing that the only question that I have is who do they pick up on the O line? Because you know that's been the problem for them the whole time is that their offensive line has been a little bit shaky, and I hate saying that because you know I'm an offensive lineman, but that's the only way that Joe Burrows is going to be healthy. Just to add to your point, like a strong O line that's just going to hold it down, especially when you get into the third and medium, the third and long, or even just first and second down, just moving the chains. So they're not in that situation where Joe is in a compromised down in distance, you know, because
Well,
that's where you really get hurt. So
well, that was the problem with Kansas City because Kansas City still don't have a good offensive line. They don't got skill weapons. You know, Kenny
yeah,
Walker